Thank you for sticking with me all throughout this class. As we wrap up the course, I want to spend a few minutes talking about distribution and how you find an audience for your audio story. Because it's so easy to think, oh, I'll start a podcast, or I'll create a smart speaker skill, and voila, I'll be a media star, hobnobbing with Ira Glass and Kid Fury. But the build it and they will come thing really is unlikely to be your reality. Even the biggest players in podcasting think long and hard about how to find and build an audience for their podcast. It's why podcast studios aggressively promote new podcasts on existing podcasts, or even drop an episode onto the feed of one of their existing podcasts as a way to get people to listen and hopefully get hooked. And of course, the big players have advertising budgets for getting the word out. Sometimes they even have celebrity hosts for their podcasts that get booked on talk shows to promote the new podcast. In other words, there's almost always a promotion and marketing strategy behind podcast launches. If you set out to create a podcast, an audio app, a smart speaker skill, or any piece of audio storytelling, you need to ask yourself a few questions. First, who is your target audience? And second, how will you let them know your project exists? Also, are you going to create your own audio product? Or will you get your story out by partnering with somebody who's more established so they can bring their audience to your work? I'd also encourage you to ask whether you have an audience already that you can build on, perhaps by telling small stories on Twitter or Instagram. Starting small is a great way to hone your technique and build a following for when you do launch something big like a podcast or a smart speaker skill. And finally, keep an ear to the ground. The opportunities for audio storytelling have been on the increase. New places to share audio stories are cropping up constantly. So find a good story and then be creative about how and where you might tell it. If history is any guide, we humans will keep listening.